I'm Jenny-Jaymes and my sidekick, Christian Cano, partner in crime, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jim's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is July 10th. We've already passed Firecracker Day, and it's Two Queers in a Truck time with Christian and Jenny. And what a weird summer. I mean, we're going to jump right into it. But, I kind of want to recap Pride Month, because I've seen a lot of posts, in posts making fun of conservatives and conservatives attacking Pride Month, which International Pride Month is June. For people, for some odd reason, you're watching Two Queers in Trucking, you don't know June is International Pride Month.
Exactly.
I definitely want to recap that, but it's a weird phenomenon. Like, don't put this in our faces, and we see this on our show comments, especially on the Coffee Show Facebook page, where you're putting your sexuality in our faces. And I think it's weird because you don't have to participate in Pride. It's not a mandatory program. We're not knocking on your door recruiting, or I've never seen a Pride organization send out missionaries like, hey, we're wearing rainbows and ponies and we're knocking on your door, throwing glitter in your face and going, you've been healed, like some kind of faith healer or something, or we're praying for your intestines, like this one lady does on Instagram. We leave you alone, and we just expect to be left alone. If you got nothing nice to say, just keep on walking. And it's weird how they are so want to be offended by us. And to me, it's a bizarre psychological thing that we want to be offended by Black people and queer people and Chinese people and just immigrants,
Exactly.
Women, how dare they, have pregnancies through IVF? Like, they just, conservatives just run from fire to fire, starting these fires, and there are issues about nothing. People just living their lives, doing the best they can. Tons of poor people coming from El Salvador, just trying to figure it out. They know where they came from doesn't work, and so they try to come here. But I think the Pride Month reaction and Black History Month get the most ire from these people. And they're kind of the same people. They're kind of the same dickhead. And they get so bent out of shape over it. It's almost like they can't function, because Black History Month and Pride Month, and we celebrate our history and we talk about events in the community, and we have parties. And how dare we have a party about gayness? How dare we celebrate our diversity? That's so terrible, and it's going to make kids gay. And what they're really afraid of is, I guess they think this is contagious and that they're going to become gay, that they're so tempted because it looks like so much fun that they're secretly going to go, get it all over me, and show up to a Pride event and just, in chaps and glitter, and they're just so afraid to be themselves. To me, that sounds like a guilty conscience. I don't know what you think.
I think it goes all along with our show that we did last week on coffee called the Trigger Generation. It's amplified by the Gen Xers, which is kind of like our generation. But yeah, I agree with you, Jenny. I mean, they are just looking for something to get triggered. It is kind of it's going to be very interesting in a decade or so when psychologists and sociologists do like research about why they are so triggered. But Jenny, question for you. Do you think it's kind of a badge of honor? Because unless you get triggered by these evangelicals and these Bible bigots, it's like, okay, I must be doing something good because the fact that I'm triggering them means that I'm in line with other people who want to be their authentic self, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, and it's so weird because we're just being ourselves. We're not going out of our way to spread gayness. I've never once told somebody, like, I've never walked up to a straight couple and I go, you really need to get same sex partners. This hetero thing in public is gross.
And stop
Please
putting it
don't.
in my face.
Yeah, it's you quit putting it in my face. I'm so offended. I've
Yep,
never once done that, and I've never
yep,
seen. And we
yep,
should, we should serve them up the same shit sandwich they serve us up, and like
exactly.
tap on their shoulder and go, "Excuse me, sir, don't kiss your wife anymore. You need to kiss a guy."
Hmm.
Like it's just
Yeah.
it. I don't make the rules, but
Hmm.
straight is not where it's at. You got to be gay. And we were remaking society, and it's so offensive for straight couples to be in public relationships and have public displays of affection. And that brings me to the next topic. So Josh Hawley's getting a lot of accusations that he's gay. He's secretly gay, and it's being fueled by a picture of him kissing his wife, but not kissing his wife. He's kissing his wife like when parents will force a brother and sister kind of kiss for a picture, and
Hmm.
they're squinching their face up, and they look like it's going to be the worst thing ever, like they're being made to eat broccoli or something.
Yeah.
And 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 old boy's kissing her like he does not like women. Like he, and between the little sissy run that he did out of the Congress
Hmm.
when January 6th happened, his, and most Nazis are down low gay. They
Yeah.
just are. And there's just like, I mean, Lindsey Graham, Tim Scott, um,
Josh Hawley,
Trump and Putin,
Ted
like
Cruz.
Ted Cruz. They're downloading flaming homosexuals, and we
Yeah.
all know it. We know that when you scream the loudest, you're going, not me, not me.
Exactly.
I don't like wieners. I love
Hmm.
hamburgers on the 4th of July. I do not want a hot dog, especially a
Yes. Hmm.
juicy foot long, like I've never liked wieners, and you're
Hey,
going,
hey,
dude,
Jen.
nobody asked what,
Hey, Jen, do you know how many hot dogs are eaten on July 4th?
how many?
150 million.
Wow.
Is that crazy? All right, sorry.
No,
I just
that's,
learned that
that's,
yesterday.
a good piece of trivia,
Yeah.
and 80 million of them are eaten by conservatives. So what does that say?
Oh, 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 oh.
Get it all over me. And it's just, it's very weird. It's very, very weird. And so Josh Hall, I always say there's like where there's smoke, there's fire,
Yeah.
and he's really, really getting upset about being accused of gay. Of course, that just is putting fuel on the fire, and
Yeah.
so people are the interwebs are going to go to work and the social medias, and they start finding awkward pictures of Josh Hawley. Well, Josh Hawley is a very awkward, weird man anyway.
Yes.
He's one of those lanky, skinny, weird looking dudes.
With real pretty, like his hair is always like real
Yeah,
neatly pretty. And it's like,
but it's
he cares a
combed
lot
in a
about
way.
his hair.
He does. See, a lot like Madison
Mm.
Cawthorn.
Yes,
Mm.
exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. Yes.
Methinks that him and
Hmm.
Madison went to the same sex orgies and cocaine parties in Washington D.C.
Hmm.
when they were legislating together.
Yeah.
It did. It makes you wonder. It just you do.
Hmm.
If you're straight and you know it, do you really have to protest what people were saying on the interwebs? It was
Yeah.
kind of like I always go back to Lady Gaga having a penis, according to the interwebs, and somebody had CGI'd a penis into falling out of her
Hmm.
costume on a stage show, and obviously it was a fake.
Yeah.
It was so fake. It's as fake as making Trump look like he has muscles and is skinny. Like you can
Yeah.
tell, like the really cheesy graphics they make where an American Eagle's flying over Trump's
Mhm.
shoulder, and he's got like this fucking rocking bod, and then you look at him playing golf,
Mhm.
and it looks like a sack of potatoes walking around.
You
You
wonder
know,
how you wonder how he stays like upright when he's bending over and his guts like just hanging over and he's like trying to swing. It's
yeah,
be hard for his hard on
but
his back.
Grimace did it for years.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, Grimace survived for a long time.
Why
And
did he play golf? Why did Grimace? Wasn't he always had like a little putt putt and like a hat?
yeah, I mean,
Why?
it must be the body type.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
Well, I have to ask. Next time I see Grimace, I'll ask him. It's like, hey, dude, why do you love golf so much? It's making you look like.
exactly.
Well,
Hmm.
maybe it's funny because the swing through makes them look like little wobble weebles, like the little toys
Yeah,
from back in the day. Wobble weeble, but it won't fall down.
yeah.
And I mean, Trump looks like a wobble weeble. He really
Hmm.
does. Like he couldn't be more sloppy than he
Yeah.
is. Like he just looks. He's looking rough. He's probably taking the McDonald's cheeseburger rumors just a little too serious. Uh, and he probably needs to scale back. But we'll get into him in a minute. We're up against our first break, and we'll come back with some more Two Queers and a Truck. Hey y'all, thanks for watching Coffee and Pandosi, but I wanted to talk about something personal. I have started a company with a business partner of mine called Java Notes Records. And we have an Instagram page, and in our biography, or as the cool kids call it, the bio, we have a link to our Indiegogo page. If you go onto our Instagram or our Facebook, we have a campaign going for our Indiegogo, and it's helping us start this company that's going to help so many people between employment, charitable events, things of that nature. We're really doing this for our local community and really trying to help others and create a job for me too. But if you would go to our Instagram page for Java, like Java Notes Records, and I would appreciate the support. Thanks for listening.
All
Bye,
right.
y'all.
So Instagram and Facebook, Java Notes.
Records.
Right. Got it. Java Notes Records. All right. Thank y'all.
Hey, thanks for watching Two Queers in a Truck, and Christian and I just blathering on about craziness in the world today. Y'all be safe out there. There is a lot of Republicans on the road.
That's right.
Have a good week out there.
Bye. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching us on Two Queers in a Truck. Don't forget, you can watch us anytime at your leisure on our video podcast platforms like Facebook and YouTube. But you can also listen to us, either this show or any of our past shows, on our audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and all of the other ones. So once again, thank you for watching Two Queers in a Truck. I hope you enjoy our show. And we are back. And I wanted to talk about the debate because, or I don't even know what you call it. It really wasn't a debate. It was, Trump. So they did a fact checking on the things that he said. And in 90 minutes, this thing only lasted 90 minutes. And he literally lied 50 verifiable times in 90 minutes. It's a presidential debate record. And literally nothing he said pretty much wasn't true. Everything he said was a lie. And, people are really slamming Biden for being too old and this and that. But how do you debate somebody that in good faith knowingly sits up there and just lies about everything? And you at some point, when is the scrutiny going to become, be aimed at Trump? And I've talked to a lot of progressives the last week on the social medias, and I'm like, why are you panicking? Biden won by 8 million votes in a popular vote last time, almost, ran away with it. He lost the popular vote in 2016 against a woman. This guy's not popular. And
we got to figure how many people, how many conservative voters got taken out by COVID. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that the generation that's dying off the quickest is the baby boomers. And how many of those voters have passed away between 2020 and 2024 that were voters? And how many more are incapacitated and won't vote? How many more are in retirement homes and then they're not going to vote? And because that generation, like my dad's 81, he's a baby boomer and he's 81. And he's the same age as Biden. And my dad's in great shape, but a lot of 81-year-old men are not in great shape, and they're not just running around doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And you start to slow down in your 70s and 80s. And I understand that Biden's probably not the youngest guy in the world. I get it. I totally get it. But that's why we have a vice president.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if people just didn't pay attention to the conjunction function and all the little PSA cartoons when we were kids on ABC where the conjunction function and it would teach you English and it would teach you civics. Like they would have the little bill that would walk around on the congressional steps that would eventually get smiled because it become a law and then
Mm-hmm.
dance and all this. Well, one of the functions of government, the reason why we have a vice president is not just because we need a vice president or a decoration. That vice president can become president. And it hasn't happened a lot in recent history, but it has happened, Kennedy with Johnson, is probably one of the most recent examples where a president was passed away, was unalived, and Johnson rolled up and became president. So let's just say worst case scenario, Biden passes away. Kamala Harris would be a great president. I'm going to put it out there, and whether he retires in office or he passes away or becomes incapacitated, she's a functioning adult. First of all, she's funny as shit. And we need a sassy black woman as president. Like, I mean, can you imagine the press conferences? They would be golden. Like, oh no, you didn't. Like there would be
Mm-hmm.
so many quotable moments. Be way funnier than Obama. Obama didn't
Mm-hmm.
always have the sass.
Yeah.
His humor was very, very dry. His humor was good, but it was very,
Mm-hmm.
very dry. And whereas I think Kamala would get up there like she did with Pence in debates in 2020, and I think she'd be fucking funny as president. First of all, she's super smart.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, I think she would get up there with her sassy self and it would just bring a flavor to the presidency that we don't currently have. And I'm not Biden's done a great job. He deserves to be reelected. His team deserves to be reelected because you don't just elect a president, you elect all the diversity that Biden brought. And look at his team. It's the most diverse cabinet in American history versus Trump's that looked like a Klan rally, almost all white and men. And they look like a fucking jury from the 1950s convicting, some white man. I mean, it looked very ominous and very, 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 very monochrome, like the Republican Party that's 90% white. And I think people kind of forget what Biden's done. And like he took over, our country was in flames, literally. We just survived a January 6th coup attempt, a terrorist attack on our Congress to stop democracy. We didn't have the vaccine rollout at all. Trump just said, fuck it, I'm out of office. I'm not going to do damn thing. And he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Biden had to jumpstart that and swing into action. Um, the war in the Ukraine broke out in year 2 of his presidency. This dude's been putting out fires since he got in the hot seat. He got the shitty end of the stick. It's not like he really walked in and it was good times. Like Trump walked in the Obama expansion and Obama putting out all the fires for Bush. Biden walked in with the economic depression, the world on fire, supply chain issues, Trump tipped the fuck out the door with the secrets under his arm. And see, you wouldn't want to be a bye, bitch. And fucking just, Trump was a shitty president. People were, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why they think downing Biden and downing the Democrats when the Democrats literally saved this country.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be very real. Biden, Harris, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer to a certain extent when he got off his dead ass and started working. They literally saved this country the last 4 years. And we're not giving Biden his due. Like, we should be throwing him ticker tape parades and going, dude, thank you. Thank you for coming out of retirement when you didn't have to. You could have easily just sailed off in your career and said, no, guys, you got to have it. You got plenty of candidates. You don't need me. Fuck this shit. I'm tired. I've had 2 kids and a wife die in my lifetime. I'm done. I'm just done. And one that probably needs to go to rehab, because he happens to like sex and drugs. So kooky, so weird. Sex and drugs? People like sex and drugs? Anyway, I mean, that's the whole Republican. I don't know why the Republicans don't like Biden's son, because he's literally everything Republicans love to do on the weekend. Like, according to Madison Cawthorn, the cocaine-fueled orgies are very common amongst Republicans. I'm like, that's pretty much Biden's son. I'm like, y'all should be birds of feather. Like, and he got in trouble for carrying a gun. I'm like, this dude his politics might not be Republican, but his lifestyle sure is.
Exactly.
He's a rhino in his personal behaviors. Like, he's doing crooked business deals supposedly. He got this mysterious laptop that keeps disappearing.
Yeah.
I want to know what brand laptop is, because I think we need to buy that, because man, that laptop is very evasive. Like, it is disappearing more than Houdini did. Like, now you see me, now you don't. But I just think the Republican Party is kind of weird, and I mean, their obsession with Biden's son and like really trying to make these links and these huge leaps of logic that he's got all these crooked deals in the Ukraine now, and I'm like, I mean, the Ukraine didn't invade Russia. Russia invaded Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And, don't let the pesky facts get in the way of the truth. But honestly, I seriously doubt Biden's son is that effective of a business person. I think he probably makes some deals, and obviously because of his last name, and at the time when he was striking these business deals, he was the son of a famous vice president. And I think he probably isn't doing anything wrong per se. I'm sure he milked it. Is anybody with any sanity? I'm like, I mean, look at the Trump family.
Well, you know what, Jenny? That's where I think we dropped the ball. Sorry to interrupt you, but
yeah, we're up against our second break, and I want to go right into that, and I want to talk about the Trump kids. We're up against our second break, and we'll be right back with some more Two Queers in the Track. Hey, everybody! You can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in the Track on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye, bye. And we are back. Yeah, go right into that, because I'm kind of curious why Democrats haven't attacked the Trump.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm wondering. What they should have done is they woulda, coulda, shoulda. But that's where I think they dropped the ball. They should have said, you know what? We're going to agree with you. President's children should not benefit. Let's pass legislation to ban president's children from holding office, from making money off of this. And don't even mention the Trumps. Just act like you're doing it because you don't want Biden's son to ever do that. Because knowing that that really is talking about Trump's family.
Yeah. Well,
That's where I don't understand. Yeah.
the total Jedi mind trick,
Yes,
because
exactly.
we don't want Eric and Don Jr., or as I like to call them, Ren and Stimpy, and which is hilarious because they talk about Biden's son's drug use, and they're really obsessed with the size of his penis.
Mhm.
MTG had
She
pictures
is
of it,
because she
and
wants one.
well, I think she has one already. I think she's already. I think the way she walks, there's a bulge there. I think she
That's
had an
right.
addictomy surgery. But because it, and I can say this because I'm trans, but she
Yeah.
walks like a trans woman. She walks this like
Mm-hmm.
this rough and tough, like muscular, and she does all these like weightlifting things and all this, and she's got some very bro-ish behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Yes,
woman, do you want to transition and be a man? Like, are you trying to be a trans
exactly.
man? Do you have a packer down in your pants, which is like a
Mm-hmm.
prosthetic penis? And for people who don't know trans vernacular, it's like she wants to be a man so bad.
Yes, you're
And I think,
right.
and,
Hmm.
and, and I think it's weird because she hates the trans community so specifically.
Exactly.
Because she's had gay staffers.
Hmm. Yeah,
She
she
has,
did yeah.
but she's obsessed with trans people. And I'm
Hmm.
like, you're a little too obsessed. Like, you're kind of like, I hate y'all, but can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, exactly.
How do I grow a wiener? Like how do I get a stash? Like I can see her with her mullet looking hair that she has. Like she has the funkiest
Uh-huh.
looking blonde hair. Like she looks like a Joe Dirt
It
type
looks
person.
fried. Yeah, it's
Oh,
always looks fried. Hey,
imagine.
do you remember when we went to here in Charlotte? We went to that the fundraising thing for the rugby
Yeah.
team, and we went as uh, Marjorie Trailer Trash Green.
Yes.
That wig, that's what I think. Really, to me, you're right. I mean, it's like she wants so badly to be accepted that she hates them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But exhibits a lot of bro-ish behaviors.
Yes. She wants to be
It
part of the dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
And she maybe she takes the strap on to Ted Cruz. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Stories and stories. Like I mean, if she's participating in the Capitol Hill orgies with the Republicans, gotta wonder if for sure Lindsey Graham. For sure
Yeah.
she does
Yeah.
with Lindsey Graham because we
Uh-uh.
all read the Washington Post articles,
Yeah.
and they're quite explicit. And he definitely bent over, recited all 50 states. Uh, it, and it left no doubt that he's a bot. And for people
Yeah.
that don't know what that means, you can Google
Hmm.
it because I'm not going to be your personal Google. But and Lindsey Graham comes off as a bottom. Let's
Yeah.
just be clear. Like he gets really
Hmm.
sassy, and then starts doing like the
Hmm.
and
That's just
in his southern sissy voice, and it gets all
yes.
like shrill. And when he
Hmm.
gets all Twitter pated, I remember during the Kavanaugh hearings, especially, he really the big old queen came out because he probably had the hots for Kavanaugh, and so I mean, he probably looked like like, oh, you don't have to root for me, Brad. Like I mean, any hole's the goal.
Hmm.
And Brett being a frat boy, I mean, there's no telling what happened in Congress. And I
Hmm.
mean, when you got to make a deal, you got to make a deal. He wanted a lifetime job. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
He really can't hold down a different job. I mean, what else is Brett Kavanaugh going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, he drinks like a fish every day. Like his face, you can tell. Brett Kavanaugh, he may not go to work drunk, but I don't think
Hmm.
he's completely sober.
Yeah.
Like I think he probably has a little flask under that robe, takes a little quick, like little snake bite,
Hmm.
nip of the snake bite kid.
Yeah.
Um, oh boy, speaking of the SCOTUS, which is our last subject, I mean, what a shit show fire, dumpster fire SCOTUS has turned into. Like, they're reversing everything. But, they reversed the Chevron decision, Dobbs and all this. But in a way, because there's going to be at least two appointments in the next presidency, no matter who the president is. Because there's two people in the court that are definitely older. They're definitely going to have to retire or be forced out because of lack of ethics. And I personally think the SCOTUS is not doing the Republican Party any favors. They're giving the American people. So I'm not completely panicked about the panic right now. I kind of like the panic. We took it easy in 2016. We'd had 8 years of Obama, and we're like, "Ooh, we're so great! We're the Democrats. We got Obama, the first black president." And we patted ourselves on the back, and then we just kind of said, "Hillary's got this. We won't need to worry about it. We don't need to fucking press hard. Like, we can just lay up and we'll win." This Trump dude's never going to win. He doesn't win at anything. He's an eternal loser. He's bankrupt all these businesses. Certainly not many Americans are going to vote for this clown. Boy, were we wrong. And I think this panic ahead of the September and October busy season because election is, as you always say, Christian, it doesn't really start until Labor Day.
Yeah.
So we got time. So I like the panic. Many political experts, especially very quietly, are saying the panic now is pretty good because presidential elections are not won in the summer.
Yeah.
Like right now is the ground pounding time and build up to the convention, and you have the convention, and then away you go. And so I think this utter, oh my God, this is the worst thing in the world, I think is good because it's going to get people registered to vote. I think it's going to get people off their dead asses. I think a lot of people in the queer community that typically don't vote, and some of the younger queers I've had some conversations with, I'm like, well, are you registered? Well, no. Well, then why are you panicking? You're not even participating. Like, arm yourselves with the registration to vote. Like, at least get registered to vote. Do step one. You don't have to vote, but at least register. At least go through the steps so that you have if you're in a state that has a 30-day waiting period or whatever, you've got that over with now. Like, do it. It's easy. You go by, it's one fucking form. I mean, even homeless people can register to vote. Everybody but felons. So Trump can't register to vote, ironically. Which is kind of weird that he can run for president but can't register to vote anymore. It would be illegal for him to vote. Nobody's really brought up that point, the fact that he can't vote for himself.
Yeah.
He just got one less vote. Because presidents do vote for themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, presidential candidates too. Like, I mean, he's been both. He's been a candidate and he's been a president. And that is kind of weird. But I do think, I think this panic is good. I am not, what I say on social media and what I say in real life are two different things. But I think the panic is a wake-up call that the Republicans are going to do anything they can, lie, cheat, and steal to win. And we don't necessarily always need to play by our rules. We need to play by their rules.
Yeah.
And I think Biden needs to get a little dirty. And I think he needs to get a little bit more aggressive. And I think we need to fight fire with fire a little bit. But we also, if we vote in the levels we voted in 2020, Biden's going to win again. Because there's certainly less Republican voters left. And we also, they're only about 15% of the population. That truly MAGAs are a very small part. And there's a lot of Republicans, a lot of independents that won't vote for Trump this time around.
Yeah.
Because they didn't necessarily vote for him in 2020. And so I don't think he's going to have the following. I think the polling numbers are the polling numbers, but they showed Hillary in October of 2016 by winning by double digits.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you can make the polling numbers look however you want to. I don't put any stock in the polling numbers anymore. They're not accurate. And they're definitely not accurate in July.
Yeah.
We don't have elections in July. We have them in November. And so we need to remember that Biden's that old workhorse that he's been through a lot in his lifetime. And the Democrats have still done good by this country. And we vote for teams, not individuals, when it comes to president. So that's our last topic of the day. And we are done. It went by fast. And this has been a wrap for Two Queers in a Truck as we dance out. And happy second Pride Month, by the way, conservatives. Share Solar Shadows so we get 6 more weeks of Pride. So
That's right.
Have a good time. Bye, Boo.
Bye, Boo. All right.
Yep. Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching Two Queers or listening to Two Queers on a Track on your favorite podcast platform. And we appreciate y'all listening and tuning in every week. Be safe out there. It's pretty toasty, and there's heat waves all across the United States. A lot of outdoor activities. Do make sure you drink water and not get dehydrated. It's the number one reason for heat stroke. Anyway, you guys be safe out there. The sun's being a little mean, and let's have a great summer. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th, or actually past 4th, but bye. That's right.
Bye.